Greater Valley Portage Transportation Management Association. We have our Executive Director Emeritus, Peter Quinn, joining us. It's fitting that we pay some tribute to the founding fathers of this organization, Joe Janicek and Ron Wagenman and Hunter Robinson et al. They really did a tremendous job, and I'm sure they're very pleased to see how you've carried on the tradition, and Rob has taken over as Executive Director and has done an excellent job. I'm going to ask Rob to come up and give us an overview. Rob?
Thank you all for coming. First I want to thank them all. Bob's here somewhere, Bob Hart and Ashley. Thank you for sponsoring, hosting, providing the breakfast, really appreciate that. Also thank you to URS, Transnet, Pico for sponsoring the event. We can just give them all a quick round of applause. Thank you. I also heard that there's a car flipped on the turnpike that's appropriate for this morning, and that the one bridge on the Blue Route's down, so people are trying to get over the other way. 422 is backed up already, so you see why we're still around 20 years later. Some of the things in the 20 years I wanted to focus on, one thing that's just happened recently, for those that don't know Maureen Farrell, as of Monday she became the second assistant director ever at GVF, and if Maureen could just stand up wherever she was standing up. For those that don't know Maureen, I just wanted to go over some things. Maureen, we got Maureen out of Senator Connie Williams' office. When the senator announced that she was no longer pursuing office, I had known Maureen through different meetings and things, and we thought that it might be a great opportunity to talk to Maureen. This is right around when Pete was retiring 2 years ago, and brought Maureen in, and with the intent of in 2 years her becoming the assistant director, and happy to say she's far exceeded any expectations I had. She's wonderful to work with. Maureen also has a Master's in Public Administration, so she has a great knowledge of the industry, municipal government. She heads up our greening sustainability efforts. She also heads up 3 of our internal committees, which is marketing, membership, and public policy. And she's the current chairperson of the Air Quality Partnership. And then I just thought I'd throw in some fun facts about Maureen. If you're looking for something to talk to Maureen about, you have to ask her. At some point, she actually worked in a prison. So there's some good conversation for her. Pre-Connie Williams and her first criminal justice days. She also is the proud mother of a little boy named Jack, who's about 7 months old at this point, so that's another conversation starter. In thinking about the 20 years at GVF, I've been here for 11 of them. Pete's here today. He started it back in 1990. And just thinking about how we've grown, and from that small, we had our main office in King of Prussia. We had the furniture from GlaxoSmithKline's warehouse. When I started, I think it was probably from the 50s, probably the 60s. And you can see it, he put it together, and there's been so many iterations, but since then we've had 2 main offices and 5 satellite offices. Thought back about all the different employees that have come through in a small organization where at times, most people we have were 3. But over the 20 years, we've had 38 employees and 7 interns. What's nice is that we're able to actually go back and see who all of those people are, to actually know where most of them are today. One of the things you hear about, and this is kind of appropriate with Tom here, is the brain drain, where we have people that go to school here and leave here. We've actually imported a lot of people and hired a lot locally. And we've had people, just to show you our region, from Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Tennessee, Oregon, Kansas, Texas, and Minnesota. So we really kind of brought those people in. And most of them have stayed. They haven't left, and a lot of the locals have stayed. We have a couple that have moved on. Some are working down in DC now on policy. One of our, probably, I guess, might be our most famous alumni right now, is working with Google, running their entire transit system in California, which you think about what the Google's transit system looks like, and it's just amazing. I mean, it's basically almost a small public transportation system. They're running shuttles all throughout California. I don't know if it's up to 100,000 riders a day, and it's really impressive what they've done with Google and the amount of money that they put into this. And then we have some work in Illinois, and some in New York. And some of the industries, what do people when they came to a TMA, what are they doing now? We have people working in planning, transit management, finance, e-commerce, engineering, marketing, banking, education, municipal management, travel demand management, consulting, and also working for other TMAs. So they've really diversified and gone into the other industries, and thankfully continue to carry that message of travel demand management. I'd be remiss if I didn't go over. We currently have 9, I think, are wonderful employees. Might be one, so 8 wonderful employees. 8, good group. And for those who don't know, the current group, we have 6 from southeastern PA, 1 from northeastern, 1 from Pittsburgh, and we give them a lot of guff for that. And 1 who's originally from New England. And I'll let you figure out who it is. You can just ask them. It's great when trying something. Every once in a while I work with Worcester Township, and anybody from Massachusetts is just a great debate how you pronounce that. So they'll do Worcester and they'll do Worcester and back and forth. They also come from a very diverse background as well. We have people that are trained in GIS, public administration, international marketing, state senate office, congressional office, city government, one work for an engineering firm, nonprofit, banking, IT, local government, journalism, and the Attorney General's office. So I think we've continued that mission of trying to find diverse staffers. It's really a good group, and I just wanted to thank them for all their hard work that they've done throughout this year, and as we move forward, we'll just give them a quick round of applause. And with that, I just wanted to wrap up and say thank you to PennDOT. I know Mike Baker's here from Central Office and Les Tosa from District 6. And it's really been a great relationship. I think we have a very unique relationship with PennDOT. I go out and meet with municipalities, meet with large corporations, and they just can't figure out how to work with PennDOT. And there's a lot of good people at PennDOT, and they've really embraced us and allowed us to really just almost walk in the door. And people joke about Jack Smythe, for those who know Jack, has just kind of a carte blanche to just walk into PennDOT whenever he'd like. And I kind of feel that we're kind of the same. They've really embraced us. I can't think of a time we've ever called them and they said outright no. We've always worked with them, whether it's on a $400 or $500 million construction project or a little tiny, road construction paving job over the weekend. They've been great. So I'd just like to thank PennDOT for their support of TDM. And also want to thank some of those that have been with us from the beginning: Upper Marion, Tradiford, Crapco Simon, and others who've been supporting TMA for over 20 years and continue to support us. And just thinking about, we recently came across, when we moved offices, an old video. I thought about playing some of it, but it was, Pete had filmed it about what a TMA was, what it was going to be, and he had done some shots of the King of Prussia. And in particular, I remember Limerick. Limerick just stands out, it has changed so much. And to see, God, the video looks like it could be 50, 60 years old at this point. Just to see the development, how quickly it occurs. And sometimes I think in this region we get frustrated and don't see the development occurring, but it really does happen here. And I think it's a great region. We've come so far. I was just in DC last week, and we're going into the congressional and the Senate offices. And when we walk in and they know us, we don't have to go in and give the whole sales pitch about what we do. And very supportive. Ask them to support legislation. They're already on board. We've already gotten the letters. One office actually apologized for not supporting I-80, which I was very surprised, but appreciate the candor. It's just been great, and so we've really grown, and I'd like to thank all of you for your continued partnership. We really appreciate it.